Paris Charles ground, Ascot 50, ready for pushback. Paris Charles ground, November 214 Mike Golf, ready to taxi to runway 26 right. Ascot 50, pushback approved, expect runway 26 right. Pushback approved, Ascot 50. November 214 Mike Golf, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, November 214 Mike Golf. Contact tower when ready. Paris Charles ground, November 759 Charlie Foxtrot, ready to taxi. Taxiing to runway 26 right, China Southern 659. November 759 Charlie Foxtrot, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, November 759 Charlie Foxtrot, China Southern 659, give way to aircraft ahead. Give way to aircraft, China Southern 659. Paris Charles ground, November 192 Golf Kilo, ready to taxi. Paris Charles ground, Air France 666, ready to taxi. Air France 666, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, Air France 666. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 836, ready for pushback. Swiss 836, pushback approved, expect runway 26 right. Paris Charles ground, Coriner 0308 heavy, request taxi to parking. Pushback approved, Swiss 836. Coriner 0308 heavy, taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking, Coriner 0308 heavy. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 333, stand by. Taxiing to runway 27 left, Swiss 639. Thank you, good day, Coriner 0308 heavy. Singapore 333, pushback approved. Expect runway 27 left. Thank you. Singapore 333. Pushback approved. Singapore 333. Paris Charles ground, Singapore 25 heavy, ready to taxi to runway 26 right. Singapore 25 heavy, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, Singapore 25 heavy. Paris Charles ground, Singapore 333, ready to taxi. Singapore 333, taxi to runway 27 left, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 27 left, Singapore 333. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 64 heavy, request taxi to parking. Swiss 64 heavy, taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking, Swiss 64 heavy. Taxiing to parking, TUI Jet 830. Pushback approved. November 236 Romeo Mike. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 119, ready to taxi. Swiss 119, taxi to runway 27 left, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 27 left, Swiss 119. Paris Charles ground, Air France 7570, ready to taxi to runway 26 right. Air France 7570, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, Air France 7570. It's 471 Super. Paris Charles ground, Air France 1814, ready to taxi to runway 26 right. Paris Charles ground, Emirates 471 Super, ready to taxi. Air France 1814, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Emirates 471 Super, taxi to runway 26 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 26 right, Air France 1814. Taxiing to runway 26 right, Emirates 471 Super. Paris Charles ground, Air France 611, request taxi to parking. Paris Charles ground, Emirates 74, ready for pushback. Air France 6 Charles ground, Swiss 638, request taxi to parking. Swiss 638, taxi to parking. Paris Charles ground, China Southern 659, ready to taxi. Taxiing to parking, Swiss 638. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 4325, request taxi to parking. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 639, ready for pushback. Swiss 4325, taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking, Swiss 4325. Swiss 639, push. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 639, ready to taxi. Swiss 639, taxi to runway 27 left, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 27 left, Swiss 639. Paris Charles ground, Swiss 791, request taxi to parking. Swiss 791, taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking, Swiss 791. Charles Ground, November 192 Golf Kilo, ready for pushback. Paris Charles Ground, November 759 Charlie Foxtrot, ready for pushback. November 759 Charlie Foxtrot, put. Paris Charles Ground, Swiss 872, request taxi to parking. Swiss 872, taxi to parking. Taxiing to parking, Swiss 872. Paris Charles Ground, Foxtrot Tango 23, ready for pushback. Foxtrot Tango 23, pushback approved, expect runway 26 right. Pushback approved, Foxtrot Tango 23. Paris Charles Ground, Category 132, ready for pushback. Paris Charles Ground, Reunion 09, request taxi to parking. Category 132, pushback approved, expect runway 27 left. Reunion 09.